Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel Agri Addict. Today is the start of a new series, that is the explanation of the mock boost series, and today is the topic is soil genesis and classification. So our first question is, which is true regarding the regolith? The options are: consolidated material overlying the rocks, serve as parent material for the soil, then A plus B plus C horizon, and the regolith, that is a true soil. So in this question we have to first consider our first option, this is consolidated matter overlying the rocks. So the consolidated will not be the answer because regolith is unconsolidated rock, so this will be cancelled out. Then comes serve as parent material for soil, that is okay. Then comes it is A plus B plus C horizon, that is also okay. But regolith isn't a true soil, so the option will be B and C, so here will be the answer. Now come to the second question. So here the given below are two statements. Statement 1 is force exerted by freezing water is 150 megagram per meter square, and conversion of water to ice, it increases around volume of 9%. So here come the options. So the options are statement based, so both the statements are true. Then comes the statement 1 and statement 2, that is statement 1 and statement 2 both are false. Then comes the statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false, and statement 1 is false but statement 2 is true. So in this case here we can see that it is written 150 megagram per meter square. Actually what happens is, if the unit was 150 ton per meter square, then it would be it would be right, but when it comes on as megagram, it should be 1465 around. 1465 around. This is 1465. This will be the megagram unit. So this one it will be cancelled out, and the conversion of water to ice ice increase the volume 9%, that is okay. So option 1 is true, and option statement 2, that is option 1 is incorrect and that option 2 is correct. So this is the answer. Okay. So now come the next one, that is olivine to serpentine. One conversion, then anhydrite to gypsum. This is one conversion. Are the example of which type of chemical weathering? So here we can see there are options like hydrolysis, carbonation, oxidation and hydration. In both the cases we have to remember the answer, that whenever it comes anhydrite to gypsum, this is a key clue. Anhydrite means there is no water, and gypsum means there is connected with water. That is, in anhydrite what we know, it is calcium sulfate. When it is 2 molecule of water is added here, then it becomes gypsum. So by this we can clearly judge that it is a water addition process. So in water addition process it will be hydration. So the answer will be hydration. Now comes the next question. It comes the read the following statements. What are the statements? Black soil is locally called Reger Karyl Val. Black soil generally belongs to the soil order Antisol. Black soils develop more than 50 cm deep and 1 cm wide cracks, and black soils are rich in expandic type of clay. Here also in this type of questions, first you see which is the common answer. Like here we can see that C is the common answer almost in 3 out of the 4. Here C we have to judge is the C is right or not. Here we can see that black soil develop more than 50 cm deep and 1 cm, this is right. Okay. Now judge the other ones, that is A Reger Karyl Val, this is also right, but black soil generally belongs to the soil order Antisol, this is not wrong. Actually black soil it belongs to Vertisol. So this will be a wrong answer. So this A is right, this C is right, this D is expanding type of clay. We know that Montmorillonite clay present in black soils, right? Montmorillonite clay present in black soil, so it is expanding type of clay, so it will be also right. So A, C, D, and this answer will be correct, A, C, D. Okay, now comes to our next question. Which of the following is monomineralic rock? This is a very direct type of questions. Many questions will come like this. So you have to remember the data, or you have to remember the information. Dunite is the answer for this. Next comes given below two statements. Then again statement based question. Let's see the first statement. Statement 1 is in drier and cooler climate, physical breakdown is prominent, and in humid region, chemical breakdown is prominent. This is both the statements are right. As we know, in drier climate, due to the temperature difference in day and night and seasonal variation also, what happens is the expansion and contraction. This happens very rapidly, so physical integration does happen. So in drier and cooler climate, physical breakdown is prominent. And for the humid climate, we know that for chemical breakdown or chemical these things, we need temperature and we need water. So in humid climate, actually the temperature is usually high and the water is also present there for chemical breakdown. So in this case, both the statement will be right. Both the statement 1 and 2 will be right. So this answer will be correct. Then comes the next question. Here also statement based question. Genetic system of classification is based on the measurable soil properties. This is not wrong. This is not right. Actually, genetic system of classification mainly depends on the, or mainly focuses on the soil genesis process. It mainly focuses, or mainly it covers those aspects where the soil genetic systems or the genesis of the procedure of genesis is much more valuable. So this is wrong. Measurable soil property is not considered in soil genetic system. And in case of suborder has been introduced to define the central concept of grey group, no, this is also wrong. Actually subgroup, if the option will be subgroup, then it will be the right answer. But here it is written as suborder. So suborder has been introduced to define the central concept of the grade group. It is also wrong. So both the statements here we find wrong. So there will be the answer will be both the statement 1 and both the statement 2 are false. Next comes to the next question. Father of modern pedology, you have to directly remember that is Dokuchev. Let's keep this question again. Which of the following sequence of minerals is correct as per their degree of decreasing weathering resistance? Okay, so in this case also we have to first whenever there is lots of questions, lots of options are there and these are confusing, you have to first remember the actual sequence of the minerals according to their degree of decreasing weathering. So in that sequence we first we'll judge what will judge. This type of questions when come, just try to judge the first thing, that is what is the most resistant. We know quartz is most resistant, right? So quartz, here also quartz, here also quartz, here also quartz, but here is, so this option automatic is disapproved. Then comes what is the most least resistant in case of weathering. So we know that gypsum is least resistant. So in those three options, gypsum is here. So here also, without even knowing the total sequence, we can easily identify the questions. But you have to obviously remember the sequence, because every time this trick will not work. These are the tricks to cut down the time for the exam. So here also gypsum, that is gypsum is the least resistant and quartz is the most resistant. So this sequence will be right. So option C will be correct. In this question, option C will be correct. Now comes the next question. Woodic moisturism is characterized by. So woodic moisturism, the answer will be not dry for as long as 90 days. These are the basic property of woodic moisturism. The other properties that are shown here, that is saturated by groundwater, it is actually aqueous region. includes this characteristic. Then moist winter, moist summer, these are not also woodic. Moist summer, dry winter, these are also woostic type of. So woodic moisture regime, only one option is left, that is option A, it will be correct. Then comes again statement based question. The configuration of land surface is known as topography. Okay, so this statement is true. Configuration is nothing but the arrangement or the sequence of those different landforms over a land, that is known as configuration, and it is known as topography or relief. It is right. Then comes the topography influences soil formation primarily through the effect of modifying water and temperature relations. This is also right. Topography actually differs from place to places, and also topography influences through soil formation by modifying the water and temperature relation, because when there is a slope, suppose there is a slope variation, here will be the temperature and here the temperature will be very much different, and also the water content, as water flows downwards, the water content of the soil also differ from one place to another. So this is the correct answer also, modifying water and temperature relations. So in this question both the statement will be true. Now comes the next question. Given below are two statements, one is labeled as assertion and one is labeled as reason, and we have to find if both are correct and if it is a actual reason of that assertion. Okay. Here comes the question. The assertion, that is Joffe classified the soil forming factors into active and passive. Okay, it is right, we all know that. And then comes the reason of it. Climate and biosphere provide the energy that act on soil materials, whereas parent material, relief and topography provides the soil forming conditions and mass. So this is also correct, and this is a completely true reason of that assertion. So this we answer, this is option A, both are true, and this is the right explanation will be the answer. Now comes the next question. So given below are two statements. Given below are two statements. What are the statements here? Here also the statement 1 is the C-axis spacing of kaolin is 10 angstrom. By watching this we can discard this, because we know that it is 7.3 to 7.6 angstrom around. The bonding force between the two layers of kaolinite is hydrogen. Yeah, it is true. So statement 2 is correct here. So in this case the statement 1, that is false, and statement 2 is correct. This will be the right answer. Now come, which of the following is the method of estimating soilage? Okay, so these we have to learn, we have to remember that the option A, that is radiocarbon dating, yes, it is used in soil, in the method of estimating soilage. We know that carbon dating technique. Also pollen analysis, many pollen were analyzed in case of their viability and also their life, and also the carbon in calyx layer, this is also used for estimating the soilage. So both the three answers are correct. So here will the right answer is A, B and C. Now comes the next question. That is, which epipedon is dark colored with base saturation of more than 50% and remains moist for 9 months per year? Let's see the options. That is the molic, umbric, melanic and ochric. Obviously we know that the most distinct property of molic epipedon is it has high base saturation, more than 50%, and also it remains moist due to the organic matter deposition. So the molic epipedon, this is the direct question, and it will be the answer, molic epipedon, for this question. Now comes, which is the correct order of stability of silicate minerals? So whenever comes the stability of silicate minerals, we have to consider how much oxygens are shared, silica oxygen bonds, and how much oxygens of that are shared with each other units of that structure. So we know that for nesosilicate, no oxygen bonds are there, no sharing. Inosilicates sometimes 2, sometimes 3, and then phyllosilicates, that there are more number of oxygens are shared. Then tetrasilic, all the 4 oxygens around silica are shared. So whenever the sharing of oxygen increases, So what happens is the stability of that minerals increases. So resistant, where the stability of the silicate minerals, where the most number of oxygen bonds are they sharing are there, that is tetrasilicate, that will be more stable, and nesosilicate will be least stable. So this will be the answer. Now comes the next question. Statement 1, that is the pedochemical weathering is the weathering below the solam, or in other words, there is the sea horizon, from the sea horizon to further below. Or the statement 2 is geochemical weathering, refers to the chemical weathering within the solam and also that part of the soil profile. So in this question, both the statements are wrong, because as we know, pedochemical weathering, by the definition it is actually just reverse. That is, it refers to the chemical weathering within the solam. This term is related to the pedochemical weathering. And when comes the geochemical weathering, actually it is the weathering below the solam. So these both the statements are wrong, and pedochemical whenever comes pedochemical weathering, we have to clearly remember it is within the solam, and whenever comes the geochemical weathering, we have to clearly remember it is below the solam. Okay. Now comes the also both are false. That means statement 1 and statement 2 are false. This option will be correct. Now comes the following statements, again statement based questions. What is the question? Regarding podulization. Okay, podulization. What is podulization? According to this, podulization is a process of alkaline hydrolysis. Then the next question and next answer option is, it is mainly limited to the temperate humid climate. In this process, clay and sesquic oxide become mobile through formation of organoclay complex and organo-sesquic oxide complex. Then podulization leads to an ash color structure appearing beneath the surface. Okay, so here also, if we judge the options, podulization is not alkaline hydrolysis, it is actually acid hydrolysis. Is it actually acid hydrolysis? So this option will not consider, we will not consider this option. Then comes, it is mainly limited to temperate humid climate. Okay, it is right. In this process, clay and sesquic become mobile and form organocomplexes and organo-sesquic oxide complexes. Then it leads down. Okay, this is also right, and also podulization leads to an ash color structure. So B, C, and D. Three options are correct. That is B, C, D only. Okay. Next comes, given below are two statements. Statements. What are the statements? Statement 1 is the different thermal analysis method is most suitable for identification of the crystalline silicate, and statement 2 is X-ray diffraction is most useful for identification of the amorphous clay. Both are wrong. Actually what happens is, DTA, that is differential thermal analysis, this method is used for the identification of amorphous clay, because X-ray diffraction cannot be used for amorphous clay, because there is no such surface that can be judged, or that can be the X-ray. In X-ray what happens? In X-ray diffraction, actually the ray reflects, then we calculate the distance between the displacement distance, and by this we judge what is the mineral is there. But in case of amorphous clay, what happens is, in amorphous clay, actually no that prominent surface or constant surface is there that can be judged, through the X-ray diffraction. So differential thermal analysis actually used for those amorphous clay, and X-ray diffraction usually are used for the crystalline clay minerals. So both will be false. Both the statement 1 and 2 are false. Okay. Next come question number 20, that is, given are two statements. Okay, most of the minerals present in the earth crust are ionic solids. This is right. Most of the minerals actually are present in the ionic solids, and AB is the form of hexagonal closure. This is also right. We know that two type of close packings are there: hexagonal close packing HCP and cubic close packing CCP. In case of hexagonal close packing, the layer after layer, that first layer is A. If we consider first layer is A, then the upper layer will be B. Then the third layer is just exactly in the same position of A. So the sequence is AB, AB, AB. But in case of cubic close packing, what happens is the first layer A, then the next layer is different from the A, and also the third layer is also different from the B and A also. So ABC sequence can be seen in the cubic close packing. Okay. So here the first option, that is ionic soil, that is correct, and the statement 2 is also correct. So the answer will be both statement 1 and 2 are true. Okay. Now next come read the following statements again. So among the 8 epipedons, only 3 out of them are important in India. Okay, it's right. We know that Mou, Maulik, Omric, Maulik, Ocric and Amric, Mou. Okay. Then comes the holistic epipedon remains saturated for longer period than histic. Holistic epipedons remain saturated for longer period than histic. No, it is not like that. Holistic is not saturated longer than period than the histic epipedon. Okay. Then comes the light color of low organic matter epipedon is maulic epipedon. Light color and low organic matter, no, it is, this is also wrong. Light, not actually maulic epipedon, it contains high amount of organic matter, and also it colors actually very dark in maulic epipedon. High base saturation also is found in this here also. So the next is 15,000 ppm of citrate soluble P2O5 in plagen. No, this is also wrong. This information is true for anthropic. This information is anthropic epipedon. Okay. So all the B, C and D are wrong. So only A will be correct. So this answer will be correct. Okay. Now next question. Which of the following horizon of soil profile is least affected by soil forming process? So here we can see that we know the horizons, right? O, then comes A, then comes B, then comes C. So when as much as we go deeper into the soil, the effect of the soil forming process, it reduces. Okay, as much as we go deeper into the soil, it reduces. So the C horizon, it is the most deepest layer of the horizonation, so it will be least affected by the soil forming process. Now next question. Which of the following is current descending sequence of soil water with respect to their degree of weathering? Okay. So degree of weathering is highest in oxysol, we know that. Sequence type of question. So oxysol, we know that. And also antisol is the lowest. That we also know. That is, it is recently matured or even not matured, only recently developed. So in this case what happens is, we will find where oxysol in the in the greater side, here it is, and also antisol in the least side, here and here. So these two questions can also be right. So here we have to know, here the trick doesn't work. So in that case we have to know whether altisol is more weathered or alfisol is more weathered. As we know that altisol is more weathered and than the alfisol, and it has less base saturation than the alfisol. So actual sequence will be oxysol, altisol, alfisol and antisol. So C, option C will be the correct answer. Which of the horizon of a soil profile represent the zone of accumulation of clay, sesquic oxide and humus alone or in combination? So the question is, the horizon we have to identify which is where the accumulation of clay and sesquic oxide along with humus alone or in combination can occur. Whenever comes the accumulation term, we know that two processes are there, alluviation and eluviation, right? So alluviation occurs in A horizon and eluviation occurs in B horizon. Alluviation means settle down or accumulation of something. So whenever comes the accumulation of clay sesquic oxide, though it will be B horizon. So this is the answer. Now comes the next question. This is the matching. Okay. So match the following. First, take a look of that. So here are the some procedures of the soil formation that is glaciation. What we know about glaciation? It is the reduction of iron. We have to find the reduction of iron. Okay, glaciation, this is the reduction of iron in anaerobic conditions. So glaciation will be option 4. Now comes ferruginization. This ferruginization actually release of the iron from the primary minerals and coating on the soil particles. This is known as ferruginization. So B option will be 3rd. Then podzolization, that we already seen in the previous question also. It is the removal of which option? Removal of clay from the upper soil profile and deposition in the lower portion of the no. This one. Removal of iron and aluminium oxide from the soil profile. This also we have learned in the previous question also. Some question in there was there. So iron and aluminium oxide, when it is getting leached down, the process is called podzolization, and lessivage is the clay leaching or removal of clay or accumulation in the lower part. That is the removal of clay from the upper soil profile and deposition of the in the lower portion of the soil. So lessivage will be in the 1. So in this case, clay, that is 4, A4. Okay, this option, in this option A4. Ferruginization is release of iron, B3. Okay, it is right. C, podzolization 2. 2, it is right. D, lessivage, removal of okay. So this option will be correct. Now the structural formula this you have to just remember. All the structural formulas you have to remember for those. For the phyllosilicate, it is actually Si2O, Si2 and O5 2 minus, whole 2 minus. Okay, Si2 O5 whole 2 minus. So this will be the answer. This is the direct question. Land capability classification suitable for cultivation. So suitable for cultivation, whenever these type of questions come in land capability classification, we have to remember that 1 to 4, these are suitable for cultivation, and then 5 to 8, these are actually not suitable for cultivation, and these are actually used for grazing, for recreational purpose, for forestry and all. So 1 to 4 answer will be true here. Now question 28. Okay, here also a matching. First see the question. Magnetite, these are the changes, magnetite, hematite. Then comes olivine, serpentine. Magnetite, hematite, then comes olivine, serpentine. Then comes hematite, magnetite. Then comes orthoclase to clay. So first comes magnetite to hematite. Actually, what is this? Whenever magnetite to hematite happens, actually the oxidation occurs in this case. And for olivine, serpentine, as we earlier we have discussed that this is a kind of hydration process. Okay. Hematite, magnetite, if it is oxidation, then it will be reduction process. Okay. If it is oxidation, then it will be reduction process. Okay. Then comes the orthoclase to clay, and this will be the hydrolysis process. Okay. So what option will be correct here? Magnetite, hematite, oxidation. Actually what happens in magnetite, it is Fe2 plus, then hematite it becomes Fe3 plus. So oxidation occurs. Okay. So oxidation happens. So A is 2, B is 4, C is hematite 3. Reduction. Okay. 3 and D is 1. Okay. This answer will be correct. Now comes, which of the following soil suborders belong to the soil order of inceptisol? Whenever this type of question comes, suborder related question, you have to just see the formative factor, that is apt. So whenever there is apt, it will be the answer. Like aquant, no, it is actually antisol. Ustalp, no. Alfisol, alf. Then this is andept, apt. So this will be the right answer. Okay. Now comes the given other two again statement based questions. The epipedon which is light in color and contains less than 1% organic matter is known as ochric epipedon. Yes, this is the right answer, because ochric, the definition of ochric epipedon is that it is light in color and less than 1% organic matter. Now comes the statement 2. Statement 2 is dark colored epipedon having more than 50% base saturation and organic matter more than 1% is known as histic. So in this statement 2, the statement 2 is not correct. This is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Actually more than 50% base saturation, actually it is not histic. So in this case statement 2 will be false. Actually what happens is in mollisol also, in mollic epipedon this occurs. In mollic epipedon more than 50% base saturation, not in histic. The primary what we can say, the primary feature or primary characteristic of histic is it can be saturated for more than it can be saturated from for more than 30 days at a stake or at a continuous, but the base saturation of those histic epipedon will be less than 50%. So 50, if more than 50% is there, it should be mollic epipedon. So this is incorrect. So the answer will be statement 1 is true and statement 2 is false. Now comes, which one of the following is an active formers in soil development? Okay, that we know, that is organism. It is active formers, organism, vegetations, and also if there was the option that is climate, it will be also active formation. Other are the passive one, parent material, topography, time or age of the soil, those are the passive ones. Now again statement based, chemical weathering involves disintegration and decomposition of minerals. And then it comes biological weathering accelerates the physical and chemical weathering. Now comes to the first question, that is chemical weathering involves the disintegration and decomposition of minerals. No, actually chemical changes it occurs in that chemical weathering. Disintegration and decomposition actually occurs in the physical weathering, so it will be crossed out. And biological weathering accelerates physical and chemical, this is right. The main feature, the main thing of biological weathering is to help out the other physical and chemical weathering. Actually there is no differences, or there is no such fine line between biological weathering and physical and chemical weathering. So this actually is the combination of both physical and chemical. So biological weathering can be used as acceleration power for the physical and chemical weathering. So statement 2 will be correct, statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. So D option will be right answer. Now again the match the following. So what are the statements here? Statement 1 is clay rich presence of smectite type of clay. Okay, clay rich presence of smectite type of clay. Where it forms, it actually characteristics of vertisol. Okay, smectite type of clay, then water retention, then this is the expansion of the clay. These are the vertisol. These are the characteristics of vertisol. Then comes frigid and pargilic soil temperature. Okay, frigid and pargilic soil temperature, it comes from the jelly soils. As we know, in the mountains regions where very low temperature is there only jelly soils can be found, and this contains the frigid or pargilic soil temperature also. Then comes the immature soil presence of cambic horizon. Immature soil, that is recently matured or very less matured, we all know that inceptisol is that. When there is no maturity, that is no amount of maturity is there, the very new soil, that is antisol, but slight maturity is there, that can be categorized as inceptisol. So this will be inceptisol. Then ochric epipedon with a argillic subsurface, obviously alphisol. So the option will be A3, B4, C2 and D1, this option. Okay. Now comes next, the most important process for chemical weathering of rock is hydrolysis. You have to remember that it is also known as forerunner of chemical weathering. We also know that the hydrolysis is the forerunner of weathering or soil formation, forerunner of soil formation. Okay. So hydrolysis is the direct question, and it will be the answer for this. Then comes a surface horizon produced by continuous cropping is known as. So this is actually anthropic epipedon. When there is a continuous cropping system for many years, so this anthropic epipedon can be found, and in this anthropic epipedon also that 1500 ppm of P2O5 also found in this horizon. That is also a characteristic one we have already discussed earlier in the question. So next question, process of intermixing of soil horizons by external factor. This is pedoturbation. This is a direct type of questions. We all know that these are the easy type of questions. The pedoturbation is the nothing but the intermixing of the soil horizons by external factor. Then comes if the mean L1 temperature is 8 to 15 degree. This is actually degree, 8 to 15 degree, and the difference between the mean annual temperature and mean annual summer temperature and winter temperature less than 5 degrees Celsius. What will it? We will say it. Actually, when it comes the mean, that is 8 to 15 degree, it first becomes mesic. But this information, when it is attached here, that is mean annual, the difference between the mean annual summer and mean annual winter temperature is less than 5 degrees Celsius, it becomes isomesic. Okay, this will be the answer then. Now comes next, the number of epipedons commonly found in India, that is 3. We already discussed earlier. This is direct question, very easy one. Which of the following is not associated with podulization? So podulization process we have already discussed earlier, that this is a acid hydrolysis process, right? So removal of iron and iron aluminum oxides were there. Okay, it is right. Then removal of silica was not there, as it was acid hydrolysis. Silica will not be solubilized in the acid, so silica will not be removed and it will remain on the surface. Then comes the removal of humus. This is also correct, and acidic condition. This is also correct. Okay, so which is not associated, that is removal of silica. Why? Because it is acid hydrolysis, and in acid hydrolysis what happens is the silica does not get solubilized and it will not leach down. Now comes the 48th question, that is unconsolidated material above the parent material is called. This is the easy one, that is regolith. We have already discussed earlier in one of that questions. Okay. Now comes next question, the parent material constituted by the wind blown transported material constitutes silk particle. The main key word is silk particle. Whenever comes silk particle, you just choose this option, that is lowest. Lowest silt, and when comes the aeolian, it is sand. Okay, when it is silt particle, lowest; when it is sand, then it comes aeolian. Then black cotton soil is commonly represented in the order of black cotton soil is nothing but the black soil that we discussed earlier. It comes in vertisol. Okay, this is a very easy question. Given below to again statement based. Jelly soils. Jelly soils have the permafrost within 100 centimeter of the soil surface. The next option, what is? Jelly soils have gelic material within 50 centimeter of the soil surface and permafrost within 100 centimeter of the soil surface. No, the first statement is correct. The jelly soil have permafrost within 100 centimeter. But when it comes to gelic materials, then the condition is the jelly soil must have gelic material within 100 centimeter of the soil and permafrost within 200 centimeter or 2 meter depth. Okay, so this is the wrong. So we here we can learn the logic or learn the key point to categorize jelly soil. Jelly soil have permafrost within 100 centimeter. If there is permafrost within 100 centimeter, it is jelly soil, obviously. But if there is no permafrost within 100, but the gelic material within 100 centimeter and permafrost within 200 centimeter, this also comes under the jelly soil. So option 1 is true and 2 is false. Okay, this is the correct answer here. Kaolinite group of minerals includes a number of clay minerals such as kaolinite, halloysite, dikite, Flugopite it will not be. So these three minerals, this is the remember type of memory based questions. So kaolinite minerals will this clay will contain these three. So A, B and C. Okay, option A will be the correct answer. Here also two statements are there. Assertion reasoning. Okay, index minerals are resistant to weathering. Okay, that is true. And the same time immobile. Okay, this is also true. Garnet, zircon and anatase are example of this is also true. Okay, so this statement is true. This statement is also true, but actually this reason or this statement does not define the previous one. If it was written this statement or in that form in the assertion position, and the reason behind it is said as the index materials are resistant to weathering at the same time immobile, so it is used as index materials, then it will be correct explanation. But this is not actually correct explanation, but both the statements are true. So A and R are true, but R is not correct explanation of A. Okay, this is the right answer. Now comes next. Which of the among following phyllosilicate is the most resistant to weathering? We all know that kaolinite is a direct question. It is most resistant. It doesn't even allow water to enter inside it. It is very hard bound. The layers are inter between the layers. There are hydrogen bonds are there. So this is the most resistant. Okay. Now comes again statement based. Again two statements are there. Statement 1 is scale of base of rapid reconnaissance surveys 1:1 million. Okay, and detailed survey is usually conducted in district planning. Okay, the first option 1:1 million, it is right. So rapid reconnaissance, this is the scale actually 1:1 million, but the detailed survey is usually conducted for the district planning. This is false. For the district planning, actually semi-detailed survey is used. Okay, and for the village planning or more specific area of the zone, that will come under the detailed survey. So it is wrong. So 1 is correct and statement 2 is false. This one, C will be the answer. Next, what is the correct order of soil survey and mapping? Okay, so in this question we have to know the order properly. How to you have to remember how the soil survey is done and what is the actual procedure. First we have to know the big area. We have to know the big area in overview. So reconnaissance survey is first done. Reconnaissance survey is first done. Then comes the preparation of mapping legend from the field side. Okay, this is true also. After the reconnaissance is done, then the survey is done, then the preparation of mapping legends are also done. Then stereoscopic study is done, and after the plotting of the soil boundaries is done, and finally preparation of the final map. So this sequence is the correct sequence. You have to remember this sequence for any soil survey type of map. Maybe different type of questions also come. So what is the next step of like stereoscopic study? Then you have to answer the plotting of soil boundaries. The final step is the preparation of the final map. Okay. Now comes again statement based question. The statement 1, what is written here? The statement 1 is hydrolysis is a double decomposition reaction. Okay, this is true. Hydrolysis is double decomposition. We know that one H plus comes in this side, one OH plus come on the other sides, and then two new products have been formed. So hydrolysis can be called as double decomposition also. And rocks containing ferromagnesian silicates are susceptible to reduction. No, this is not right. In ferromagnesian minerals, what happens is the silicate, the iron present as ferrous forms. So whenever it becomes ferrous to ferric, always it becomes oxidated, or it is the oxidation process. So it actually rocks containing ferromagnesian silicates are susceptible to oxidation. So this will be wrong. So statement 1 is true, but the statement 2 is false. Okay, this will be the right answer. And again statement based, what is the statement 1 is stability series is proposed by Jackson et al. No. Weathering index is by Gold. Okay, these are just only reverse of each another. Stability series actually proposed by Goldrich and weathering index is proposed by Jackson. So both the statement will be false. These are direct type of questions, informative. So the next question is, consider the following statements. It is also a statement based question. That is the characteristic feature of the minerals. Minerals have a definite chemical composition. Yes, it is right. Minerals are inorganic in nature. Yes, this is also true. The atoms that make up the minerals are not arranged in orderly manner. No, it is not right. In minerals, the basic principle is the atom should be arranged in a well arranged manner. Then comes the minerals are the building block of the rocks. Yes, that is also true. So A, B and D, this answer will be correct. Okay, so next question. So here also statement based question. First read it out. Olivine is the least stable mineral. Olivine is the least stable mineral. In case of minerals, olivine is the least stable. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And also the statement that is it has independent silica tetrahedron and held together by forming bonds with hydrolyzable magnesium or oxidizable iron. It has independent silica tetrahedron, olivine. Okay, it is nesosilicate, so independent silica tetrahedron will be there. It is held together by forming bonds with the hydrolyzable magnesium. This is also true. Okay, so both the statement 1 and both the statement 2 are true. Okay, next comes, arrange the following minerals in terms of increasing stability. Okay, here also the previous one question, it was like that, the increasing order or decreasing order. You have to remember that it is increasing order, that is least stable, that is least from the least stable mineral we have to go to the most stable. Okay, so here we know that quartz is most stable, so it will be in the last. So B last. By this trick, it is very evident that this option is correct. Every time this trick will not work, but this is a very good technique because quartz is in the last, that is it is the most resistant. So this technique works here. So here also we can see the hornblende is comparatively more least stable than the other three. Then comes biotite also, then comes muscovite and quartz. Okay, so this answer will be right. Arrange the minerals in order of decreasing weathering index. There is also a series of weathering index are there is found, that is kaolinite. It is decreasing order, so most resistant will be in the first one. So kaolinite will be first. Okay, then montmorillonite will be second. Okay, this is also true. After that, then vermiculite. Okay, this is also true. And then comes the mica. Okay, so this is the sequence actually. So the sequence is A, B, C, D. Okay, this will be the right answer. Now comes the next question. Again, the matching class these are the land capability classes. We know that it is given by Klingbeil and Montgomery. Okay, we have to remember that Klingbeil and Montgomery land capability classifications. So we have to match the colors. Okay, first comes that class 2. Class 2 is, there is a formula to remember all the colors, like give your best pearl, don't order rural people. This doesn't make any good sense, but actually to remember the color we can remember the sentence also. So class 2 comes in your, means yellow. So this is class 2, this is yellow. Okay, then comes class 4. Class 4 comes in purple, pink, sorry, pearl is pink. Okay, and people is purple. So pearl is pink, so it will come in pink. So this is class 4 pink. Class 3 it is based, that is brown. B, the word formative word is B, so it is brown. Okay, and then class 1 is green, give. Okay, so this is a one kind of sentence that you can remember. So the accurate option will be this one. This is 2, YOLO. This is 4. This is 3. This is okay. This is the correct answer. Then again, two statements are there. Alluvial soils are the largest group of soils in India. Yes, it is true. We know that alluvial is the largest group. It is the largest area in India. And alluvial soils are rich in nitrogen but deficient in potassium. No, this is not true. Alluvial soils, the major problem is it is the deficiency of the nitrogen, as it has variable texture. Alluvial soils has variable texture. So what happens is the nitrate sometimes leach down, nitrogen sometimes leach down as nitrate, and sometimes the pH is also above 7 and somewhat near 8 sometimes. So what happens is nitrogen sometimes evaporates, or that is vaporized, then it is also lost. So nitrogen actually deficient in alluvial soil. So statement 2 will be wrong. So 1 is correct, 2 is wrong. This is the answer. Now comes identify the manganese containing minerals. Okay, what are the minerals? Pyrolusite. Okay, pyrolusite, it is manganese containing, we know that. Malachite, no, it is not manganese containing, it is actually copper containing. Magnetite, it is also not manganese containing, it is actually iron containing. No, manganite is manganese, sorry, it is copper. Manganite, manganite is manganese containing. Okay, so it will be right. Okay, and goethite, it is also iron containing. So malachite will not be there, that is copper containing. Goethite will iron containing. So the answer will be pyrolusite and manganite. So A and C, this will be answer. Okay. Now non-ferromagnesian groups of minerals. Non-ferromagnesian, actually if we study the whole, that is written in the fundamentals of soil science book, we can if we study all the examples of the different types of minerals, that is inosilicates, phyllosilicate, tektosilicate, we will find that only in tektosilicate there is no any ferromagnesian minerals are present. Okay, so this will be the answer. These are direct type of questions. Then following statement are related to kaolinite. Kaolinite is formed by the decomposition of orthocase pleisters. Yes, it is true. It does not expand when it comes in contact with water. Yes, this is also true, but this is false. The kaolinite plays the 2:1 phyllosis. No, actually kaolinite is 1:1. Okay, so this is wrong, and it has fine texture due to clay content. So A, B and D, 3 options are right, A, B, D. Okay. Now comes next question. This is formed by the lateralization process, acidic with low CC, deficient in almost all nutrients, but can be well managed, occur in 18 million hectare. So what is the soil actually? It is actually laterite and lateritic soil. It is actually laterite and lateritic soil. These are the characteristics of lateralization process, laterite soil. Acidic nature, okay. CC is low, okay. Deficient in almost all nutrients, that is also for laterite soils. 18 million hectare, it is also in laterite soil. Okay, so the D, option D, that is D only answer. Again matching igneous rock. So in this matching we have to see igneous rock where it is granite. We know that these are the only examples. Marine sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks comes in limestone. Then metamorphic rock, granite to gneiss, you know that. Then terrestrial sedimentary rock, volcanic ash. Okay, so these are only so the option will be A2, B3, C4, D1. Okay, so this is the option. Okay, this is right. And the comprehensive system of soil classification is based on what? The comprehensive system is based, the genetic system is based on, that was that I have already have told, that is mainly the genetic procedures, like how the soil is formed there, that is the main thing in that case. But in comprehensive system actually it is mainly based on the measurable properties of the soil. Whatever the soil property we can see or we can measure, by this we actually classify the soils in the comprehensive system. Now comes statement 1, again statement based question. The surface of a pattern is roughly polygonal. Yes, this is true. Sometimes it is hexagonal, sometimes it is pentagonal. Most of the time it is hexagonal, so it is polygonal, it is true. Then comes the surface area of a pattern ranges from 1 meter square to 10 meter. This is also true. So both the statement 1 and 2 are correct. These two are the main feature or main characteristics of a pattern. Now comes arrange the following in decreasing order of basal spacing. Okay. So when basal spacing, we know C spacing also, B spacing, C spacing. This comes under the basal spacing. So in this case the basal spacing will be high in montmorillonite. As we all know, it takes the water from the surroundings, and it can hold the water in the interlayer structures also. So it is the most wider base spacing. Then comes the vermiculite. Okay, first montmorillonite, then comes the vermiculite in case of basal spacing. Then comes this is vermiculite, then illite, and then the least is kaolinite. The sequence will be B, D, C and A. Okay, B, D, C, this one is answer. Now comes the parent rock, and this is also a matching: conglomerate, slate, coal and sandstone. Okay, so conglomerate actually conglomerate is converted to, after metamorphism, is gneiss. Okay, conglomerate is converted to, after the metamorphism, slate actually phyllite. Conglomerate to gneiss and slate actually phyllite. It becomes, after metamorphism, it becomes coal becomes graphite. These are the direct type of information, and sandstone obviously quartzite, sandstone quartzite. Okay, so the option will be A3, B2, C1 and D4. Now comes the next question: release of iron from primary minerals and their dispersal as coatings on the soil particles impart the brown to red color. This will be ferruginization, obviously. Rubification is also right. Laterization is not laterization, brownification. Brownification is right, ferruginization is right, rubification is, these three are correct. A, B, C, this option is correct. This is whenever comes, it may be it comes as a question as a single word also, single option, like ferruginization will be there or rubification will be there. The definition will be the same: release of iron from primary minerals and their dispersal as coating on soil particles to impart the brown to red color to soil particles. That is, this comes under this. Okay. Now come the trace elements that show affinity for sulfide minerals. So whenever comes the sulfide minerals, we will remember that is chalcophile. Whenever comes for the iron minerals, whenever it gets show affinity with that, it is siderophile. When it comes with the affinity to the rock or earthy material, that is lithophile, and when it affinity to the water, that is hydrophile. Okay, so chalcophile will be sulfide mineral, affinity towards the sulfide mineral. Now comes the most dominant exchangeable cation in the earth crust. We also know that it is direct question, that is calcium. It is the most dominant exchange cation in the earth crust. The next question is given below are true statements. So statement based, one level assertion and reasoning type. Okay, so see the first assertion. This is free silica occurs in soil as quartz and opal. Yes, it is true. We know that in the silica is present in the soil as quartz and opal also, and quartz consists of a continuous framework of silica tetrahedra. Consists of a continuous framework of silica tetrahedra. Yes, it is also true, and it is it can be assumed that this is the actual reason why the quartz and opal are very much abundant in the soil also. So actually continuous framework of silica tetrahedra, quartz, so it is very much stable, so it is also abundant. So this can be the both assertion and reason are true, and R can be a correct explanation of this. Okay, next come the next question. Here also matching the last question of this of today's session. So first read it out: soil order, altisol, vertisol, mollisol and alphisol. Okay. So altisol, it is actually the main feature of altisol is the base saturation will be less than 35%. So find this. This one, base saturation less than 35% with argillic and candic horizon. Okay, so it is with the altisol. Then vertisol. Okay, now see, this is clay rich soil with swell sinkage property. We know that vertisol have swell sinkage property, and according to the soil moisture content also. So this will be vertisol to 2. Then mollisols, it has the mollisol has the deep soils with high organic matter. As we know, the mollisol have high organic matter and base saturation is more than 50. The main two key points of mollisol: high organic matter, base saturation more than 50%. So mollisol will be 1 and alphisol will be that soils that have argillic, candic or natric horizon and a base saturation of 35% or greater. So in altisol and alphisol, what is the difference? In altisol, the base saturation is less than 35%. In alphisol, the base saturation is more than 35%. Okay. So here we conclude today's session. So thank you very much. I hope you liked today's session, and we will meet in the next session. Thank you.